What is up, everybody? You are listening to Beyond the Breakdown with Six Scars. I am the host, JT, and I am joined by Tim and Kiara of the North Carolina pop punk powerhouse, Dovecage. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing good. Thanks for having us.
How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. I am so very excited to have you guys here. We had to sadly cancel the last episode due to weather out my way, and as we were discussing before going live, you all are experiencing some trouble out your way.
Just a little bit. Just a little.
I know you all are in North Carolina, so I'm in Virginia. So I mean, I'm like a hiccup away from you, and the weather is absolutely just balls.
Horrendous.
So before we get started, I am going to go around and just I want to hear the origin story of both of you guys. So Tim, if you're okay with it, I'm going to start with you. What was the way you found music?
Oh man, it's kind of sad, dude. It's come full circle recently because my buddy just passed away, who actually introduced me to the music style that we play. And I hate it. Like, I got that nasty phone call, and it's one of those things that you don't want to get. And it was one of my best friends and first friends in high school, and said, "Here, listen to Rancid and Out Come the Wolves." And I was like, "Oh shit, that's great." Introduced me to all of it, and sadly drugs took him, and I hate it, but that's not to be the right off the bat downer, but yeah, that's how I got introduced to it. And hey, there's our guitar player.
What's up?
I just came back from the rain.
Not
That's how I was introduced to it. High school best friend, first friend, when I moved to a new state, put me into it and said, "Here, listen to this song and this CD." And I heard Maxwell Murder for the first time, and that got me on the bass track. So I was like, "Holy crap! If I can ever play this bass line, I'll be on it."
Oh man,
it.
Hell yeah. Pavel, we were just discussing everybody's origin. So I'm glad that you got to join us right now, actually. How did you come about finding music?
Well, first, my name is actually pronounced Pavel.
Oh, I am so sorry.
No, it's okay. Everyone, every Southern person, or like mainly American, always pronounces it wrong.
We're ignorant.
I'm from. I was born in U.S., but I lived most of my life in Peru.
Oh wow!
And that's where I started with music.
Well, I hope you forgive me.
Yeah, for the record, my name is pronounced Timothy, not Timothy.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know if you can mispronounce JT. Yeah.
Okay. How about that? Well, I started in high school, like what you call my freshman year of high school. It was like either in school, it was like you either do dance or you do music, and I hate dancing, so I was like, I'm just gonna do music, and I was going for like a D, like I didn't care, and it was guitar, and I actually really started liking. I really started liking it, so I just started learning by myself, and then after a year of doing that, I started taking like classical guitar lessons. And well, I learned like how to read music, technique, and all that. And then towards like my latest years of high school, I switched into like more pop music, rock, and like all that stuff. And then then I moved back to US for college, which is my last year. Is my senior year of college. Yay!
Oh, there you go. Congrats.
Yeah. So, and then it's all been guitar as my main, but I've learned how to play piano, bass, and a little bit of drums. And also with different contacts and friends that I've made both in Peru and here. Like Peru, I've been able to be a guitar technician for The Voice. and also working with Grammy nominees, producers and stuff.
Wow, what a resume you got there.
Yeah, and well, the latest thing is I have a sponsorship with a in-ear company. I was invited to go to the NAMM show earlier this year, January.
Congratulations. What the hell are you doing on a Dump Like This podcast? No,
He's
no,
happy
no.
to be here.
He does what we tell him.
Hi, Chip.
Yes, Chip Barringer says, "What up, peeps? Nice of you to stop by.
Hey.
Hello."
I love him so much.
So,
He's
Kiara,
literally
I
one of
guess,
my
are
favorite
you-
shot takers for Fireball.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, what was the question?
Oh, no, you are fine. I was just saying, I believe that it is your turn.
It is. Okay. So, I started singing when I was, a kid. When I feel like when you're a kid, you kind of always sing, and I never really thought that I would be any type of musician in any way, or I guess a singer. When I was in middle school, I started playing clarinet, and I became a district and state level player in that. So for a long time, I thought that that would be where my route would go. I really wanted to play clarinet in like Disney soundtracks and things like that.
I'm a believer, but okay.
But then, and then I started taking theater, and I fell in love with that as well. And then I moved into musical theater, and I fell in love with that even more. So I've been singing for a long time. I would say I started singing on stage when I was 14. My pastor at my church was like, "Your voice isn't bad. Like you should try this." And so I've been singing at my church for going on 10 years now. And once I graduated high school, my parents were like, "You're gonna be a dentist." And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna be a dentist." And then I got into college, and I was like, "This is not for me." And so I moved into theater, and I just kind of started doing musical theater. So I got my AFA in musical theater, and then I found these goobers, and and then I dyed my hair and turned into a little punk chick.
So you weren't always the punk chick, like the punk chick had to come out in
No.
you?
I am very much usually when people ask me what my music taste is, I very much enjoy jazz music, and I have a lower voice for a girl. Obviously, I can reach most men notes, and most female jazz singers sing very low. So that was always my kind of thing. It resonated with me a little easier, and then um, Tim was probably the first person when I came in for the audition. He was like, "You can do this," and I was like, "I guess I can." So here we are.
Wow. That's quite a story you all have there. So that will lead me into the next thing, which is, how did Dovecage come to be?
Tim.
So he's the founder?
Well, so I joined about 2 years ago, and they were already a band, and then Pavel joined
I joined
last
this
year.
year.
So
It was
Tim
actually-
has the origin story.
It was basically this year because I auditioned last year, but like I officially started this year.
Oh my gosh, it hasn't been a year yet?
No.
Tim, how did Dovecage come about? Oh, is he frozen?
No.
Oh, is he?
I don't know. Yeah,
I think
he
so.
is.
He hasn't blinked.
Uh,
Oh yeah, he's texting me. He said, "Lightning took out power.
Yeah.
uh,
I'll have to come back to reboot." Okay, so he'll be back.
Okay.
Well, maybe we can go to a different question. We'll come back to it.
Yes, absolutely. That is perfectly fine. So we'll get back to the origin of Dovecage, but the first song I want to ask you about, it was actually my first introduction to you guys, and that was "Bang My Life." That is just so catchy, and
That
it's
was my audition song.
okay.
It was.
Who did the writing of that song? Was it you, Kiara?
It was not. So our former guitarist Nick was he kind of just wrote it as, in all honesty, he wrote it as a joke. Like it was kind of just, we were messing around, and he used to have this little booklet of a million songs that he would kind of just go through, and he was like, this is one that I wrote and it's kind of stupid, and let's just see what it does. And so we were sitting in the shop where we rehearse, and we started playing around with it, and we were like, this has something to it. Um, and so originally, when the song was written, there he is.
What's up?
When the
Lightning just
song,
took out everything.
I told you that was going to happen too. I'm
It
always
was
right.
nuts.
So originally, when we went into the studio with Bang My Life, the part, what part was it? Where it says there's one. What part did we not have? What part did we add in the studio for Bang My Life?
So the pre-chorus of Bang My Life was actually the chorus originally.
That's right. Yes.
Oh.
So the part where it says death is so that was originally the chorus, and the pre-chorus where it's like, you just don't know what it's like, that became the chorus because we wrote another part in the studio. So yeah, so it really was kind of just like a joking song, and it turned into, I would like to think, what kind of got our name started. I think that we started getting a lot of bigger shows. We did a music video with it. That was the first song that I did with Dovecage too, which was, so it'll always hold like a very sentimental place in my heart. But I think that really kind of crafted the four of us and like had bonded us together at that time.
Yeah.
And now it's just, everybody knows it, so it's awesome.
It really is. I was listening to it the first time, and then like I think today was like the 60th time at work. I just had your entire discography on repeat because that's what I do. I'm obsessive when it comes to my guests, and I'm like, I was sitting there, and I work at a hotel, so I was going in, stripping a room and everything, and I'm like, I'll just do the chorus in my head, and I was like, oh, I ended up singing it out loud. I was like, oh shit.
The song is just so stupid, like in the best way.
Stupid, ridiculous, catchy songs that damn you just repeat. You don't want to hear before bed. We'll keep you up.
And like Nick wrote like the weirdest guitar part for like the verses.
What's up, Todd?
What's up, Todd? I am Mook. Big shout out to them. They are the ones that created the intro for the podcast. So absolutely nothing but love to those dudes. Yeah, the guitar in the verses is very interesting.
Yeah, like I remember when I was learning it for audition, it was like, huh? And I got it pretty close by ear. Like I think it was like 2 notes or like three notes that I was like
fast.
A little wrong. But other than that, yeah, it's really fun to play that.
Yeah, I would say it is. I mean, I got to ask you, what is that crowd reaction like when you do that song live? Because I mean, that's got to be some interesting stuff.
It's really cool. I think the first time that that we noticed people were singing it back was actually at the Rooster, I believe. And I didn't expect anybody to really sing it back, but I was kind of just like, I just like held out my microphone to like see what would happen. And I always usually hold it out when it says, fuck up my life. So I kind of just like hold out my microphone because it's kind of like an angry part. And I remember everybody sang it back, and it kind of caught me off guard. And so I like jump back into the chorus, and I'm not really thinking about the lyrics in my head. I was like, they sang it back. They sang it back. And that, like, it really just hypes you up. It makes you so excited to keep playing.
Absolutely. April Paris, my partner in life, coming in to say hello, gorgeous.
Hi, April.
So I do want to circle back to the question before Tim had to drop out because of the power situation?
God stopped me.
Tell us the origin.
Yes, of Dovecage, not of how God stopped you.
Wait, what's the question?
There you go. Tell us how Dovecage started.
Well, all right. This is gonna be long. Former guitar player Nick, myself, his ex-girlfriend / former singer Zach, and I all got together after a horrible breakup with one of our singers from another band that we won't name. They need no recognition.
Fair enough.
The singer from that band just went anxiety crazy, I guess, and just said, I'm done. And we said, okay, well, we like playing together, so we're just going to dip and play without you. So then Zach, Nick, myself were like, well, we need a singer and we still like playing, so let's do this. And Nick was dating a girl named Sorrel at the time, who is very, very talented. And she was former singer of a couple other bands in the area in Charlotte. And he asked her, and she came on. She started writing and doing some of the songs from our first EP, which we do not do anymore, which I would love to do, but we don't do anymore. And it kind of came about, but scheduling conflicts and all that, she had to end up dropping out, and then we were in dire need for Kiara. So when she came on, we were super happy. I mean, as far as like names and all that, the story's known. We just literally threw out a crap ton of names on the board and said, I like this name, you like this name, let's narrow it down to 3 or 4. And then we got down to our name, which is, I guess, unique. It's stuck.
Yeah.
It's a name.
It's a name. I've said a million times the band makes the name. Like the Beatles is a terrible name. Korn is a terrible name, but it's Korn and the Beatles. So you can think of them. You couldn't think of them as any other name. Like there's no way. Same with us. You know, you make your name.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I have a band that I'm a part of. We're called Killbait Overdose, and it's a mouthful, but it's like the dudes make the band, right? And I mean, you know, or ladies and dudes. Let me. I am not trying to get yelled at on this podcast by my followers.
I'm always, you know, they're like gentlemen, and I'm like, yes.
So, since you kind of threw a dart at the name that you picked, I'm gonna guess there isn't too much of a significant meaning behind Dovecage.
We wanted like one word name. We wanted 1 word, 2 syllables to just be like out there. We didn't want like straight 1 syllable, 1 word. I had originally had several other names with tons of meaning and tons of background, and it would have had awesome like lore and pictures and stuff like that to go with. But in the end, again, it doesn't really matter. The band makes the name. So if you're good, you're good. If you're crap, no one remembers your name. So, you know, we could call ourselves Crap Monkey. Nobody would care if we suck. But if we're good, they're gonna be like, damn, you hear Crap Monkey?
Crap Monkey gets out there and does Bang My Life, and they're just like, oh, damn, Crap Monkey's on to something. Let's just start calling ourselves the Beasties.
That's gonna be our next shirt, Crap Monkey Dovecage.
Absolutely not. Veto.
Honestly, that kind of slaps.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Crap Monkey.
There you go. There you go.
You see what I have to deal with?
Do the Crap Monkey, but like the Pigeon Prison t-shirt that you have, and just have the monkey throwing the crap through the bars.
So that actually came about when we were in Laurenburg. We were all at this huge festival, and we were all walking back and forth from about to play. What's up, Will?
What's up, Will? Will Brawley from the Liars Pacifist podcast. He is one of my very good friends. So glad to have him here. Thank you, buddy.
Glad to have him. So we were walking back and forth from our I guess RV, what do you want to call it, to the stage, and Zach, Kiara, and Nick and I were talking about like alternate names, and we're like, whoa, what would we call ourselves if we were in an alternate universe or, you know, whatever. And Pigeon Prison was Pigeon. Wow, I can't talk Too much Jack Daniels.
Yeah, it was.
Pigeon Prison was the first thing that came out of Zach's mouth, and he just died. I've never heard that boy laugh so hard in my life.
We went through so many, and some are a little too inappropriate to say on camera. But that is such a good idea, Bingo Bongo Bango.
That's Evan.
I love that name, by the way. I'm just gonna say, Bingo Bongo Bango is amazing, and that needs to be copyrighted.
It reminds me of some
got it.
Oingo Boingo.
Yes.
We gotta make one.
That's Evan.
I'm
and
writing
he
that
loves
down.
this movie. So like right now, I think he's in like the other room and he's watching this too.
Oingo Boingo.
So funny.
Danny Elfman, man.
Yeah, I definitely need the Pigeon Prisoner T-shirt. Like I saw that on the shop and I was like, oh, I need to buy this as soon as I can.
I love it. It was like one of those, what was it, Looney Tunes back in the day, the cartoons in the 90s when they had like the pigeons. What the hell was it? It's like, I can't remember. Anyways, the three pigeons that would go around. The pigeon that's on our shirt reminds me so much of that one fat idiot pigeon. And I'm like, yes, I love this. I want to wear it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because you're a baby.
It's in prison plushie for the win.
I'm not a baby.
Everybody is wanting this this plushie. I think your fans
I'm
have
so
spoken
down for it.
here.
My
I'm so
girlfriend,
down.
the one who just commented, she really wants that plushie so bad.
I would use it, or like I would cuddle with it for sure. Be all angry, I'd do it.
It needs the Dovecage logo like right on the chest.
100%.
Oh my goodness. Well, this is already off to a fantastic start, and I am having such a blast. So thank you again for this.
Thank you.
I'm basically just going to kind of talk to you guys about every song that you all have released, if that's okay with you guys.
Sure.
Let's do it.
So I want to know, what was the inspiration behind Covenant? Specifically because, like, so I'm a 90s kid, and I grew up loving metal, but also pop. And the first time I heard that guitar, I was like, am I listening to fucking Cry Me a River?
That song. So I should say, for our EP Envy, this was before I was comfortable writing lyrics because I had no confidence in myself. So Nick actually wrote that entire EP. He is a very talented lyricist, and is that the word, lyricist?
Yep.
Okay. He's very talented. So he wrote Bang My Life, Covenant, and False Connection. So with Covenant, Nick is a very intricate guitar player. So he wanted a song that had just some type of solo. And originally, we really went back and forth on this song because the solo in it originally was 1 minute and like 45 seconds long.
Holy crap, it was so long.
And we were like, love you so much. Absolutely not.
Yeah, it was crazy long.
It was too long. And so we were like, you got to cut it in half, like get the most important parts and we'll work with that. I have no problem with like a fun solo, but 1 minute and 30 seconds, minute 45 is a little long. So we cut it in half. And in all honesty, I still don't know what the lyrics mean. Do you, Tim?
I mean, no. I mean, I know somewhat of the backstory of it. I don't think it's appropriate necessarily to say.
I have no idea.
No, Nick wrote it, and I don't really want to talk about it as far as like what I was told the backstory of it was. But going to the solo part of it, holy crap! Yeah, you're not wrong. It was almost 2 minutes of a solo, and it's so funny because like those 2 songs off of that EP out of the 3, which Bang My Life took off like crazy, and then Covenant and False didn't. But like I still like those really well. As far as instrumental, I think Covenant solo is one of the best of everything we've done, and I love to hear Ravel play it now. And it's like, to me, like the audience doesn't hear what we hear, and I love my guitar player who is there. Hey, I'm pointing to you. You're on that side of my screen. I love my guitar player, and I love hearing him play. And when he goes off on his solos, and it's just like music in my ears, so I get serenaded by that singer, that guitar player. It's just fun for me. That's the best part about our songs and our music and all that. And I don't know how it came about. I don't really want to share the lyrics side of it without Nick being present because he was the one who really wrote it. But I know the behind the story of it, and it's kind of weird. But we'll just let the audience interpret it. That's all.
I don't even know it, so
Yeah,
I just know I run out of breath when I sing it.
No, it was something to do with having a baby and not getting rid of it.
Oh God.
Whoops.
Sure. Anyway.
But that song, I remember, because this is also how I joined Dovecage. Because a friend of mine sent me the Instagram post of Dovecage looking for a guitarist. And I was like, I'm bored. I'm gonna do it. Worst thing that could happen is that they just ignore me. Why not? And then I learned that one. The first song I learned was Covenant because I love the guitar solo, and I was very late in sending the video for it. And I went for my fall break. I went back to Peru and I filmed it there. And I was like, they probably will ignore me, and they did for like a week. And like, then they answered me, and then nothing for like a month. And then for the in-person audition.
But we fell in love.
Yeah, and that solo is one of my favorite ones to play because I just can go off soloing. I just love that one. It's so fun to play.
It's definitely a powerhouse of a solo. Like that's one of the standout tracks I had on repeat several times over. I know we have one more on that EP, and I believe that was False Connection. And that was the Envy EP, if I recall, just to make sure that I have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I know, I'm guessing the lyrics were not written by. Okay.
So that was the deal with me and the old singer. So I hired her at a point because she was like, I'm so busy with school and I really can't do much. I'm working and I can't do much with the band, but I'd like to make some extra money. And I was like, well, we love what you write. And, we'd like to have some of the lyrics still around. And she was like, okay, well, I'll do it. And this is my price. And I was like, okay, well, here's some songs that we're writing, put some lyrics to it. And that was like the only one she could do. And she threw it out. I love that song with Zach and I. That's like our go-to. Him and I are just like on that song and we have fun with it. I don't think anybody else in the band does, but we do. It's such a simple, stupid song, but Nick used to love it. Zach and I love it. It's fun to play. The lyrics are catchy. Again, Covenant and False get no love, and it's hilarious to me because I'm like, wow, as a band, we look at it and we go instrumentally and lyrically and musically, they're great songs, but we had one today cross 14,000 streams. A couple others have crossed 10,000 streams today. And it's like, those ones get all the love, but the other originals, nope.
I kind of feel like that's a whole indictment on the way that music is viewed. Is like whatever is the latest, right? Like that's what they're going to gravitate to. Whatever sounds like the most recent thing is kind of what the average person listens to. And it's unfortunate because a lot of people have some amazing stuff deep in their discography. I mean, well, just like you all, with this EP, nothing against your newer stuff either, but I personally really resonated with False Connection. Like I just love the chorus on that. I thought it was a beautiful, beautiful way to do it. And I really was excited to talk to you about that one. So thank you for letting me in on a little bit of that one.
Oh, of course.
And live, I do like a little solo section because Kiara doesn't sing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The bridge is supposed to be sung twice, but I get tired. So I'm like, Pavel, take it away.
So I solo for a little section, and then we go to like the quieter part.
Yeah.
So I know Tim was saying that he has a blast with that song live, but he doesn't think the rest of the band does. Is it because it's over? Like, do you overplay it? Like, was it overplayed a lot at the live shows, or just?
No, Zach and I just have like, that's it. But we Zach and I have this like, there's a portion where Pavel and Kiara will now have time together to be playing, and then Zach and I had this Addison. We love you, Addison. We had this like section where it builds, and then him and I just like we get a second to breathe because where it's positioned in our set, we're tired at that point, being the rhythm section. And Zach and I just get simpatico. We straighten our hats and we just start looking at each other and we prepare for the breakdown. And then we get together and we start bouncing. And I run across stage, and I usually do like some twist, jump, something, or jump off of his drum riser or something to crescendo the end of that song. So it's him and I have been doing that since that song came out, and it's just fun for us. We love it. It's just for him and I guess.
No, hey, you know, I think different band members have different frequencies that they work at with each other sometimes, you know. So there's some songs that we'll do with my band where I'm like, I'm really in the pocket and I'm feeling it when I'm screaming and I'm like, oh, this is fucking amazing. And then there's other times I'm like, this solo's kind of fucking long, guys.
I don't mind them taking long solos for vocals or anything, because it's just like, okay, I don't have to play right now.
So real quick, while we were discussing the chemistry that you had with Zach, Pavel got like 6 shout outs on YouTube, all saying they are here for Pavel. So I am just like, you know, I did not want to let that go by the wayside. They absolutely love you, apparently, buddy.
Yeah, well, one of them is my sweet man, the other one is my girlfriend, so I hope so.
Oh, well, hey, you know, you got to start somewhere, right?
As somebody else, I'm gonna log in and just type, "I love you, Tim."
be your own biggest stalker, you know.
Wow, love you back.
So before I get into the next track, I want to ask you about, a lot of people will ask you your influences and your inspirations, and normally I would, but I also like to ask, what is the most unexpected influence on you? It can be either music or outside of it.
I think recently with our newer songs, I've asked for Tim, you're all right. Sorry. I would say my biggest personal influence is the band AJR.
Okay.
And a lot of people, it's very 50-50. Either you have heard of them and you know their song. You've heard of them and you know their songs, or you've never heard of them and you don't care. But to put it in a way that if somebody doesn't know who they are, it is a 3-brother band, and they use a lot of electronic instruments and things like that. And their songs are kind of about anything and everything, which is what I really enjoy, because it's not typical love songs, or, you know, it's kind of about everything. So but yeah, so in our newer songs, we do have a couple of like horn sections that are kind of inspired by AJR as some of their breakdowns and things. And his stage presence is everything I could imagine to be and more. Most people would expect me to have like a girl idol in mind, like Hayley Williams, or, you know, Adele or Billie Eilish, but Jack Met from AJR is the energy that I wish to portray.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I actually just recently found AJR, and I really enjoy what I've heard. It's not usually my typical style, but I'm like, man, you can really appreciate the artistry and musicianship of it.
They're insane. What about you guys?
Yeah, it's my aunt.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. It's cool to see your family showed up.
Pavel, what's your musical influence?
Woof. So I would say like right now would be Hozier.
Really?
Yeah. I'm a huge Hozier fan. That was actually the latest concert I've been to.
Oh wow.
Hozier. What else? Well, as of right now I'm kind of slowly obsessed for Sleep Token, exactly. And like, okay, sorry, my girlfriend just walked in.
Not at all.
Sleep Token. Right now, I'm pretty obsessed with Sleep Token. But yeah, that and John Mayer, I guess, for guitarist.
Go figure, a female singer you're obsessed with right now.
Hmm?
What?
I said go figure a female singer who's obsessed with right now.
Who is a female singer?
Well, he's talking about Sleep Token, right?
Sleep Token, it's a dude.
Isn't there a female in Sleep Token?
They're background vocals.
That's just in this moment.
Gotcha.
Tim,
Hang on,
your
dude.
musical influences.
Yeah.
You want mine? Well, South Florida growing up, Ocala area would be man, there's a bunch of them from there, but A Day to Remember was one of my biggest. I remember seeing them at tiny little places in Church Street and seeing them in downtown Orlando and Ocala, and that was amazing because like there'd be 10 people there, and now they're doing like sold out stadiums. I love Beartooth, Bring Me the Horizon, like Bad Omens. Those are my guys. Old school influence. If you want to go like East Bay punk, that would be like Pennywise, Rancid, you name it. Love that stuff, man. That's my go-to. I could throw on anything Warped Tour and be happy.
That's fair.
Hang on
Also
one
Lawrence.
second. My cat is wanting to destroy everything over here, so just give me one moment.
Kitty!
Cat moment.
Lawrence is another one for at least Pavel and I.
Mainly Sammy Ray though, for me.
Oh yeah, Sammy Ray.
Sammy Ray and the Friends. What else? Actually, for guitarist right now, for me, would be Larry Basilio. I don't think anyone knows her because she's a very niche guitarist, but she's a solo artist, solo guitar. Right now, she's my favorite guitarist, at least for now.
Okay.
So look it up. She's really cool.
Sorry about that. That usually never happens, but my cat was just like, you know what? I am going to fuck everything up because this is going so great. Also, I have to mention this. Tim typed in the chat, but for the video, not for YouTube. Hey guys, Tim is so amazing and good looking, not old looking at all.
It's in the private chat, you bozo. No one's gonna see it but us.
Because I was looking, I was like, who the fuck messaged in the private chat? Wait a minute.
Of course, Tim would do that.
Oh, you put it in the
It's
actual
in the group.
comments.
Shut up. It's in the group. Shut up. I didn't do it.
Oh wait, no.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Oh my god. Hey, guy, Tim. Not guy. Hey, guy.
Yeah.
That's because you're Android, bro. Shut up.
Is Guy Tim, Guy Fieri's older brother?
There was supposed to be a comma. Hey, guy.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Right, I don't know what you're talking about. That's Zach. That's Zach.
Anyways, Tim.
All right, moving on.
Such a great night with you all. Thank you so much for this. This is a blast. So
we're like not allowed to be serious ever. It just can't happen.
What's the point?
I'll write serious music, but then at times I'm like, I'm a big goof off. Like that's how I deal with everything that goes on in my life. I just I either vent it, scream it, or joke about it.
Yep. Our practices will be like 3 hours long because we cannot focus.
Yeah. Practices we're either bullying Kiara for something that she didn't even do, or we just yell at Tim because he's messing up.
I'm not messing up.
Hey, I'm not in the middle of any of this.
Hey, live is where it counts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The awkward silence is what's killing me right now.
I mean, whatever.
Like the thing that's still living in my mind is whenever we were rehearsing Divided Minds.
Don't get me started. This is Zach. I don't know Zach is in New Jersey, you liar.
He has internet.
He doesn't have social media.
This is not social. This is look, Zach.
Let's go back to the next question. We were wasting too much time.
Oh, this is great. This is absolutely amazing.
All right, I'll stop. I don't mess up in practice. I don't know what you're talking about, Val. I hit that same note every time, and you guys are just playing the wrong notes.
We were not though. You
go with
were
that.
so wrong, out of key. It was so funny though.
That face needs to be on a shirt.
Limited edition t-shirt.
Not out of key. Anyways, it happens live all the time. Pavel just missed this last one that we just did, which was brew stock at the Rooster. And it was so damn hot. Like all of our equipment was in the sun, blazing on the stage itself. And Nick and I, we couldn't see anything on the digital displays of our pedals or anything. You couldn't tune, couldn't do shit. Did somebody screenshot that as we did it? That would have been hilarious. We have a Zach tee, which is just for private, and only a few people have it. But that would be hilarious to the eyeball tee. But no, brew stock. It was 12 o'clock or 12:30, right, Kiara? 12:30. We started.
Yeah, 12:30.
All right, blazing hot in July, and everything on the stage was just, you could see it like heat waves coming up, sizzling. And we have pitchforks that we use, or we have drop tuners, or any other thing that we do, or Pavel just tune now, doing it himself. But when Nick was there, we were using the pitchfork for myself and a pitchfork. They overheated and they did not work at all. So we were all just struggling and having to tune and do everything in our head, and nobody heard it. So that's good. But we heard it, and it sucks because you're always like, I want to be perfect, and you can't. And it never works out that way. It's like the third show in a row that these damn pitchforks have given some kind of issue. But
my first show, I remember. Yeah.
It just happens. But yeah, we mess up. Not me always. I have perfect shows sometimes.
I don't think I've ever
there's
had one.
such a thing as a perfect show.
Yeah.
I had one when we played the 27 Club in Asheville, and it was literally like dialed in perfect, where I was like, I'm in this zone. Everybody else was off. Literally everybody else was off but one person, and it was just amazing. I'm like, okay, the one show I'm good.
Everybody else is off.
Yeah.
Well, I want to ask you guys, I love asking just fun and random questions here as well. So what is the craziest place that each of you has ever been inspired to write a piece of music or lyrics?
Like literally just like, oh my god, this place is awesome, I gotta write something.
Yeah, just off the top of your head, like what's the craziest place you think that you, or just unusual? Let's just go with unusual. So far on here, I've had like bathroom.
The bathroom is such a nice place to write. I'm sorry.
Wait. Are you taking your guitar in there when you're dropping a deuce and like playing a brown note? Or
just in the bathroom, an idea comes up and then you leave and you write it. But like ideas come in the bathroom sometimes.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair. I've also heard on top of steps, people that like to sit on steps. I was like, okay, I can get that. The weirdest one I've heard was what was it? While doing acid.
Holy shit, yeah. Wow, yeah. Oh yeah.
I had one. The song "Sick."
Oh, okay.
When I was prepping for an endoscopy. I was like in the inpatient or outpatient like room getting my IV in, and I was like, huh, that's probably because I had one pretty recent back in like I don't know. But anyway, that's probably where for sure.
Hell yeah. How about you, Tim? What do you think has been the craziest place for you?
Craziest place or circumstance?
Or whatever you want to choose.
Well, circumstances suck because life sucks. Like we touched on before, like people taking their own lives and shit.
Yeah.
It makes you write certain songs. Like we have songs that they're recorded, but they're not recorded with Kiara. So, for instance, one is Never Gone. Love that song to death. Wrote that when I was 15 and completed it with Dovecage when we all got together. And that's all about my best friend in high school taking his life. And places, holy crap, man. You're not kidding with acid? I took a bite out of a sheet of gel tabs one time and I stayed up for like 3 days straight with my eyes like this going, I don't even think I had a guitar.
Oh, never even smoked weed. What is happening?
Well, there she is on hits, and I took a full bite. Do the math.
Dude.
About 25 hits. Anyways, my pupils were this big, and I think I had a guitar, but I don't think I did. Anyways, that was pretty inspirational.
What Will said.
Will.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong if you.
I don't like the drugs. The drugs like me. just to be clear, I'm not on anything. So.
Listen, kids. Don't buy drugs. Become a pop punk singer, and they'll give them to you for free.
I'm good.
We're good kids. If we have to be called kids, we're good ones.
Nobody got that throwback reference, but that's all right.
I got it.
Maybe we are kids.
Yeah, no, we're not ancient like you.
Oh my god.
This is how we joke, I swear.
Yeah, this is a normal thing.
Pavel's gray hairs are all right here.
So here's the deal about this interview tonight. I think we're gonna go with another guitarist. I'm just messing with you, man.
All right, peace out.
I'm 40, Will. I'm 40, Will. Don't worry.
Well, I mean, I'm 34 over here, so I mean, I'm definitely not, I'm not the youngest that I could be, unfortunately,
Addison said I wasn't gonna say it. We are kids, Pavel. I mean, I'm not a kid. I'm 23. I'll be 24 in like next month.
I'm turning 21 next month.
You are a kid.
I miss those days so much because I could wake up without my knees fucking cracking.
Right? I literally woke up this morning going, everything hurts already and I haven't moved.
I wish I could say that. My back is woof.
I have the old man pain after seeing Pod last night.
Yeah, he got to see POD last night, and I am jealous beyond all recognition.
I wish I didn't have old pain like in my back because Jesus. I struggle with that.
I always say I'm like 34, but I'm going on 90 just because of how my body feels. I'll get up there and start headbanging, and then before I know it, like my knee is just dislocated and my back is just out of place, and I'm like, I think this is going good, guys.
I have like pre-show routines where I have like foam rollers and everything. And I'll be backstage just rolling out. Everyone's like, what are you doing? I'm stretching. They're all good because their 20-something-year-old bodies don't feel it yet. But like, if I don't do that for 4 days after, I'm going, ugh.
Yep. Every practice I gotta do it because I go hard at practice, and I'm like, if I don't stretch, I am going to hurt.
It is funny about us though, because we've been coined as like damn bouncing all over the place, hyper energy type of band. And what's funny is like at practice, it's so like basic bitch. We're just sitting there
so
going,
bland.
We don't move, we don't do anything. But then show balls to the walls.
It is night and day.
What's it like when that dial gets turned up? Because I know for me, I try to do as hard at practice as I would in a show, just because it kind of helps get that mindset going.
I think for us, like, I feel like we have. I feel like because we are so close, it's almost like for us, it's not really a performance. It's more of kind of just enjoying our time together. So when we're on stage, it's a lot easier to play off of each other than it is at at practice. We mess around when we're singing, we'll push each other, we'll make weird faces or we'll do weird dances, and we cut the shit and everything. But during a show, it's the same thing. It's just amplified by 10. And I think that the crowd and everything else kind of just gives you that adrenaline to have fun. And so I think
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, it is.
No,
I think it's
no, it's not that. It's 800 milligrams of ibuprofen pre-show.
Yeah, pretty much. I think, yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, I think we just have fun. And, we've got like certain moves that we do every single time in a show. So they're at this point is muscle memory. So, we'll do this here, or we'll all step back here. And most of the time we don't even plan it. It kind of just happens because we're all in sync with each other at that point. But yeah, I think it's so night and day because we don't really pay attention to it. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
it is.
I've been performing since like 6-7 years ago. So like I've been performing for a while on different types of stages. So like it also just comes natural after performing for so long.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. What is it like having that chemistry when you're up on stage? Do you have to guess what anybody else is gonna do, or is it just like, nope, we're in sync?
Nah, it's routine.
Yeah, it really is.
We practice a lot. It's so like our set is perfectly timed. We have it timed out with. We haven't done it with some of the new songs now, but up to the set until Pavel comes back for the next shows. But does Tim ever turn into Ryan from Mudvayne and just go off? I do. Wrongly, I do, but yeah, I do.
I think give it a couple years and he might have to.
If I wasn't so fat, man, I'd do it. But
oh my, you are not fat. Shut up.
Our set's perfectly timed out, and we watch what we do, and we choreograph everything, and we make sure that we try and be as perfect as possible. It is, for us, it's a show, and we know that people are buying tickets and that we want to put on that show for them. It's not necessarily if we hit the perfect note or whatever, as long as they're getting a show.
Yes.
I mean, we can mess up, but we want them to be glad that they bought the ticket. We don't want them to not buy another ticket. So we do what we can. Every show we look at the next time when we go, wow, what can we do better? Or holy shit, we did really good this. Let's carry it on to the next. And we put it in our choreography. Or we get some new stage effects, or we put it into our backtracks, whatever it is. We want to be as good as possible, but we know, like I can look at Pavel and he knows when I mess up. He knows, like I know when he's messed up, but he rarely messes up, but I've caught him. Zach, same thing. We all look back and we just laugh at each other because nobody else knows but us. And they don't catch it, but it's just fun for us to see. Sometimes we'll get ahead of ourselves or behind the tracks. Kiara's probably the best of us. She doesn't really mess up much unless she gets tired. And that usually
I have no endurance.
Is correlated with heat.
Oh yeah, I can't be in the heat. I'm like do vampires not like heat?
I mean, they just don't like the sun.
They definitely burn in the sun. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like that. I will. Heat is not my friend. I like central air. I like AC. And that is where I belong.
Addison, you got those goo eyes for your man.
I really mess up.
He messes up. I'm gonna point it out.
Honestly,
Real
loves to be a band, not be perfect live. Mistakes make it feel more genuine and honest because mistakes happen in studio and live shows are very different. You can't fix mistakes live usually, but studio you can. Amen.
That's true.
That is a fun thing to think about. So when Nirvana was recording their first album, their producers were talking about how the mistakes made the album. And the mistakes of the album were increased tempo, slower tempo, missed hits, guitar riffs that were out of tune or out of scratch, whatever, that made that whole album that everybody now knows and has sold hundreds of millions of copies.
Mm-hmm.
Today, it's perfect. You have to be perfect, or they just change it. They pitch your voice. They do whatever. I agree with that. Mistakes are okay. They're fine. They don't. You could fuck around on stage, lay on your back, play guitar, and just be out of tune all you want, as long as you're putting on that damn show.
Yeah. I definitely agree, because I think, just for my taste, I think a lot of the art of showmanship has been lost due to that thriving for perfection every second of every show, because they're like, well, this is going to be on YouTube. This is going to be, I got to look amazing. I got to look spectacular. This is my brand. And it's like, it is your brand, but you're also there to put on a show and show true emotion behind the music that you are doing. And it's like, I feel like that can tend to get lost a lot of times when we're so hyper focused.
Yeah, it is. We do have a huge degree of professionalism that we want to keep pushing forward. We started out as like, we don't really give a crap. It was that punk feel. We're like, then we got kind of labeled as a certain type of sound. We don't really have a sound. We kind of push into that alt pop rock alternative punk genre, but that's like 5 things. We don't know, but what we care about now is like professional photography, professional sound. As long as we look good, sound good, we want to be the part. We want to sound as good as possible. But again, it comes down to, I don't care if you spent $5 on a ticket or $500 on a ticket. We want to give the same show each time and make sure that everyone likes it. If they don't like it, they're not coming back the next time. And luckily, we've had repeat visitors, and I think that's because we're all just fun. We go up and we talk to everybody after each show, and we try and make new fans, new friends.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, from how rabid your following is, it definitely has been paying off for you.
Well, nobody cares about me, Zach, and Pavel. They just want.
Oh my gosh, Zach. You liars! Look we've got like 4 people in the group chat for Pavel right now.
I mean,
he paid them. They're here because he paid them off. He's like got cheeseburgers. He's throwing at him. He's like, here, eat.
Bro, I am in college. I am broke.
He's like, I ain't paying no damn cheeseburgers to these people.
Yeah, I am broke. Capital letter broke.
Capital letter broke.
Throwing milkshakes at him. No, honestly, we did. I'm not gonna have. Can I throw out names? Like, do I have to be shady? Like, I don't have to be shady. We played some shows with some national touring bands. I'm not going to say, but I'll tell you the dates. We played with those. Was it January in Greensboro, Kiara?
I'm not saying shit. You're not getting me into this.
We play with some nationals, and they're good. They're on the radio. They're great, right? Live, all recorded. Everything was turned off. There was no actual live performance. So
that's rough.
100%. Like we respect the live performance. We know when people are faking it, and we played with some fakers. We don't really respect that portion of it. And we've talked to some of the other bands that played that night, and we're like, damn, all we have to do is turn everything off, and we don't have to play. Just like them. No, can't do that.
Yeah, that's
Will.
That's I don't know, man. If you got somebody paying money to go see the music that you created, like you owe it to them to put on the show, like not the backing tracks, but that's sadly that's become like a real touchy thing lately. From what I've noticed, people are
I
getting.
get it. You're playing every night, or you're playing every other night. I get it. Your vocals can take a turn. Like you get tired. Everyone's not sleeping. You're on the road. You're doing what you're doing. You haven't showered in 3 days, maybe. Whatever. You're hungry. Still play. That's why you're there, because you were playing. So play.
Yeah.
Don't do the tracks.
Real quick, we just hit the hour point. How is everybody feeling? We still good to go, or yeah? Hell yeah. Like I said, I got plenty of questions for you guys, and I'm just enjoying this. So you might have to cut me off, honestly. This is,
We have no social life, so we're good.
I mean, I feel you. So I wanted to get back to asking about some music real quick, and then I'm sure we'll diverge into some other woods as we go. But what was the story behind Divided Minds?
That's
Ooh.
Kiara and Nick.
So, okay, so we went into the studio and we had a completely different song written out with the same music behind it. The song that was written out was not good, in all honesty. Lyrics wise, it was shitty. It wasn't a
It was
good
about
song.
the big bad wolf.
No, it wasn't that one. It was a different one. It was something eight. I don't remember. But anyway, so when we got to the studio, we realized that it was just not going to work. And we had already like paid for the studio time. We were there. Our schedules were all mixed up, so we really didn't have a lot of time. So Nick and I went outside and we sat on the pavement and we just wrote lyrics and wrote lyrics. And that was the first time that I started writing lyrics. So I was like, you know what? Let me just like see what we can come up with. And oh, we had only had a chorus for that song too. We didn't even have the whole entire song written out. So musically, I mean, so we wrote the rest, recorded, and finished that song in 8 hours. And that's where Divided Minds came from. It was just, we sat there for 8 hours, all of us, all four of us. We came up with ideas. We shouted out some, and then I got into the booth, I recorded, and then, Nick recorded, Tim recorded. This was the only song that Zach didn't track live, so it does have electronic drums, but yeah, so took 8 hours, and we kind of spit out Divided Minds, and here it is.
He didn't record them, but he tapped them out.
He did, yes. It was his inspiration.
He hates that song, but he didn't have them out.
Does he hate it because he didn't do the recording, or just because it's not?
Still, right before the end, that he just rolls his eyes. And again, I've known this man for 5 years now, and him and I have played together longer than everyone else in this band. And it's just funny because every time it comes up live, I always look at him. I'm like, it's coming.
He's great at playing it live, though. He enjoys playing it live. He just doesn't like listening to the song like on a soundtrack because it's not him.
Oh, wow.
He hates it.
Yeah, he fully hates it. He's like, oh,
he hates that song. It's not his favorite.
My band had something similar to that. Well, first, I don't want to say my band, but our band had something similar to that, where we had a drummer who was doing recordings for us, and then we were working on a track, and then our guitarist had tracked drums for it and thought that it was the original drums, not the electronic ones. So that ended up being in like the demo version of it, and it was a little iffy on the chemistry there for a little bit, but I completely understand. I personally, I really dig Divided Minds. I think the chorus is, I think, one of your stronger ones, Kiara.
Thank you. That one was, we had an original melody for it, and it sounded way too similar to another very, very popular song. And as soon as we all heard it, like, we played it back and we were all like, oh no. So it was like 2 days later, I just kept singing it in my head and being like, what can I do to change it? And so that was, what I ended up coming up with, and it worked. And that's a fun song to play live. We always do it as the very last song because it's our heaviest, and we have that breakdown where it's quiet and I can address the crowd, thank everyone for coming in the middle of the song. Then we end with a really big bang, and it's always, I think that song is so energetic that once we go into that breakdown at the very end, it's just like all of us are so happy and like excited, and so I really do like that song.
Hell yeah, absolutely. Going forward, so what are some non-music related hobbies that you all have that inspires your creativity?
Anyone? I have puzzles and Legos.
D&D maybe.
Oh, hey, I'm a D&D
I
fan,
love
so
D&D. I'm such a nerd.
I'm still learning my way around it, but I actually have a session this coming week with our DM, so I'm looking forward to it.
About that, I need to text our DM or on our Discord group chat because we haven't played in like a while. We have a campaign. It's been like 2 years now. But yeah,
I feel you. How about you, Tim? Is there any activities that you do outside of music?
No. No, I'm too busy, man. I run some companies and I don't have time. And my hobbies include just adulting.
I feel
This is my hobby. Surprise.
well. I mean, if you're good at something, never do it for free.
it's true.
What about you, Kiara? Is there anything that kind of gets your motor going for creativity outside of like listening to music?
We really just, when we're writing music, it's a bit different for me because, well, one, some of the songs that we've written on this most recent string of singles that we've released have been a lot of my dating mishaps and stories. Because I have a lot of them. I don't know how to pick partners very well at all. So we use a lot of my personal dating life, and it's better because I'm not dating anyone, but it's been better. But I would say nowadays, when I want to think of a song, I don't really take it from personal life very often. Um, because I went to school for theater, I think of it more as a script, and I try to think of concepts of what would sound good as a song, what scenario would sound good as a song. So my influences come from just my imagination, thinking of like different theater shows I've done or different scripts I've read, things like that.
Okay, absolutely.
I'm more of a gamer than Pavel is, Will.
I'm sorry to you.
Yeah,
I don't play Fortnite.
Yeah, I'm more of a gamer than he is.
Listen, I play solo story games.
Yeah,
so
I was up till 2 a.m. last night playing.
I mean, I play like God of War, Last of Us. Right now, I'm playing Red Dead 2, Assassin's Creed, like those type of like open world solo games. Not Fortnite though.
I miss having the serotonin to play video games.
But yeah,
like I'll get in those moods where it's like, man, I really want to play a game, and then I'll just turn on Need for Speed for like 6 hours because it's just mindlessly fun versus going into an RPG that I've had for like 5 years that I haven't opened.
See Animal Crossing sometimes.
Tim, favorite game. I'm obsessed with Sea of Thieves right now.
I knew it.
100% obsessed. Annoyingly, I watch all the YouTubes all day long, like just all them tubes.
All them tubes.
All them tubes all day long. Play the game as much as they can. Probably gonna play when this is done.
I've heard really good things about Sea of Thieves, though. So
it's ridiculously addictive.
Yeah,
I can't say enough about it. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite video game is Last of Us. I think it's the best story.
Great game and show.
Yes.
Well,
Yes, it's the only show, anything that has been from a video game that's portrayed right.
loved it. I loved
You're
both.
not wrong. Let's not discuss Borderlands. The thing that they tried to do with that's a thing.
Yeah, I didn't watch that. I did. God damn it! I'm gonna blank right now talking. Shit. Come back to me.
You got it.
No, come back to me.
All right.
Not a problem.
I'm so excited for Last of Us Part the second season because I just finished Last of Us Part 2. I'm like, oh my god.
Part 2 was okay for me. I didn't much care for the story as much as I did the first one, though.
I do have to agree on that. The first one is story wise, it's better. The second one is just like, ugh. But I think it's still a really cool game.
Oh, Will, I'm going to hurt you, buddy. Yes, it was. Okay, so look, I never get on a soapbox here, but I went and saw this movie, and I was like, this is The Crow for people who take Xanax. It was The Crow for people that had never seen the original nor had any idea what the original was, and I was like, put me out of my misery. That's all I'm going to say on that. Thank you, Will. I am red in the face now. Yes, it was April. Oh, my goodness. Before I get too flustered over here thinking about that abomination, Kiara, to go back to what you said a few minutes ago, this latest mix of singles has been about, the mishaps in your personal life, and it definitely shows in the lyrics. So I'm gonna ask you about the next couple tracks. I gotta ask you first about XXX, because that chorus is just catchy as hell, and it definitely shows me that you are like, you know what, I literally have no fucks to give.
Yeah, so when we so as the guys know, like I said, I don't have the best track record when it comes to dating, and my family will agree. So when we were in the studio, we were like, what? Like, I just kind of wrote down a couple series of like either guys that I went on date lists or guys that I dated, and like what happened and why. So the three most important ones are the beginning of the song. So one of the guys, I went on a date with him, and we were in the car, and his ex-girlfriend called him, and we were like sitting in the rain in his car, and his ex-girlfriend called, and I was expecting him to decline it, and he didn't. He was like, "Can you get out so I can talk to her?" And I was like, okay. So I left my car, and I was walking in the pouring rain back to my car, and I just dyed my hair red. So just like red dye. It was like cinematic the way it was happening. So that was the beginning. And then the second one, I was in a very toxic relationship for a while. We broke up 4 times in 9 months of dating.
Ooh.
And it was just not a good relationship. I really lost a lot of myself. It was I would say a very toxic, borderline, verbally abusive relationship, and I just didn't see it until I got out of it. So I added him in there as just like a little fuck you. And then the final one, I was dating this guy, and we were watching TV, laying in bed. I told him I loved him, and he said, "I love you too, Mackenzie." And I said, "Who the fuck? Who the is Mackenzie?"
Oh my
And I
god!
dated him for like 6 more months after that because I'm stupid. So that song is just about not caring, dating whoever because I'm like taking, you want to take your power back because you've been hurt by so many people that you're like, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what that song is about.
Well, the chorus, like I said, it is catchy as hell. I love the. I'm not exactly sure of all the lyrics, but the part where you're like, "Thanks for the experience." I want like it was basically an experiment. I was like, that is clever as hell to come up with.
It's a giant fuck you.
Absolutely. Let's see, Will Brawley. Hey, Kiara, I understand sticking around because you wonder, well, what if it gets better?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It is not easy getting out of a toxic, situation, especially when everybody around you is telling you that you're in it and you're like, "But I love him." It's so stupid. And then when you get out of it, you have like so much clarity and you just look back on it and you're like, "Holy shit." Like that's what was happening. So, I'm definitely a lot better since then. And I think him seeing me now better.
Standards increased, correct?
I would hope so. Like,
Yeah, I have more
I'm
confidence.
I'm gonna have you guys back on the podcast, and I don't want another story where you like I was with this person 6 months after he called me Sarah.
No, I have good standards now, and I think it's because of like the guys in the band. Like, if they see someone, because there will be times where I see like back when I first started, I'd see like an attractive guy at a show, and they'd be like, "Don't do it," and I'm like, "You're right." So they're like
People
they
get
tell me,
weird.
yes, people get weird.
People get weird. We had one offer to buy my socks.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Stage worn.
I
remember that.
I I honestly don't have anything to say to that one.
Weird. Weird.
Like, okay, did you do it?
No.
I don't know why he didn't. That's literally
You're not
free
not
money.
ignoring that.
They all told me to. They're like, yeah, just do it. Take the money. Yeah, take the money. I was like, no.
Go buy
No.
another pack of socks. Make the $200.
I was gonna say like Dovecage on Wiki Feet.
It started out perfectly normal and innocent, and I was like, oh yeah, this person wants to buy some merch. It went left field quick, man. It was like, hey, but you specifically, I want to buy your stage worn shit. And I was like, delete, 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 delete. I showed all of them and they're like, money,
Do
man.
it.
You should have done it.
You
Like,
should
yeah.
like just put like a members only thing on the shop and then just be like Tim's dirty
worn
sweat socks.
PSA, if anybody wants to buy Tim socks, follow the link down below.
Yeah.
I don't sweat that much.
They don't need to know that.
I mean, no, it was weird. It was super weird. Not the worst proposition, but it's definitely the weirdest.
Oh, okay, so that brings up a fun little topic. What is the weirdest thing that you guys have had happen at a show?
I have a great one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, us or in general ever.
At our last, no, not our last show. Was Amos our last show?
With
No,
me,
it wasn't.
yes.
Okay, that's right.
But
So
yeah, Amos.
at Amos South End, we finished a show, and this is a venue in Charlotte, and
Which
it
we love.
has one of
We love Amos.
those.
We love
Yeah, we
Amos.
do. We love it. It's a fantastic venue.
No shitting
It has
in.
one of those like barricades, so it has like the little it's barricade to the stage, and then there's like a gap in the stage so that the artist can get down. And so the show was done, and I got down from the stage because my friend Logan was in the front row. So I hopped down, I gave him a hug, and he had met this random girl, and she was like standing next to him. And she had said something to me, and I didn't hear fully what she said. But so I asked her what she said, and what she said was, "You were so hot, can I kiss you?" And I didn't fully hear what she said. So I leaned in to ask her what she said, and she just planted one on my lips. And I went up to the merch stand to my dad because my dad was there. And I was like, "Dad, some girl just kissed me." And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "No, it wasn't consensual." And he was like, "No." Like, I was like flattered, but also like flabbergasted. You know what I mean? it just. And then somebody gave her my number after that too, so I had to block her. I have no risk. That's the thing. I've got nothing.
Oh God, I hate that word so much.
I know.
For real,
So,
just
yeah,
use
that's
words.
what happened to me.
Stop abbreviating it. I want to murder every Gen Z.
Back off. Can anybody top that? Anybody kiss them?
I want to know if anybody can top that one.
Yeah,
I mean, aside
yeah.
from the socks story over here.
All right, that's what I was gonna say. Is there any? Does it have to be Dovecage or in general?
Just in general.
All right, so I was playing with a band unnamed. Not going to tell you, but back in the day, we were playing Halloweeny Roast, and we were opening, and Rob Zombie was there.
Oh.
This is a fun story because backstage, his green room was wide the frick open, and I was nervous as all hell. We were opening before Dope, and I'm just nervous as shit because I was young as hell. Probably Kiara's age at this time. No, I was Pavel's age at this time. Holy shit. Kept walking past, and I kept seeing this dude just leaning forward in front of a coffee table with 2 naked girls on his right, 2 naked girls on his left, like on him, like this. He's got 4 girls, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's Rob Zombie." Rob, I ain't saying I'm sharing your secrets. I don't give a shit if you see this, whatever. Pile of cocaine. Like I'm talking freaking what do you call it? Scarface style. Yeah, Scarface style. Just doing that. And I was shocked because the guy went on to put on an amazing show. Like amazing 50-foot freaking marionette puppet giant thing. It was insane. But yeah.
Whew.
Maybe topped it a little bit. Pavel, you got one?
I don't think I got one, honestly, because like I don't know where you're. I don't know. The weirdest ones was reacting to your stuff, but then like I don't think there's anything weird that has happened in any shows that I've been in. I don't
That just means we gotta make it happen.
I was gonna say, give it time.
We'd have like some
Yeah.
weird man come up to you and be like, "Can I smell your hair?"
I was gonna say, Will Brawley said he had a shirtless fat dude ask him to smell his nipple one time at a show, and it said it smelled like bacon.
No,
I would cry before I would do that.
I mean, I've had people like in the street like fully want to grab my hair, but that wasn't at a gig. Like fully. I remember like this old lady. I was just walking back to my house in Peru, and this lady just goes like, tries to grab my hair. I'm like, whoa, hold the fuck up! What are you doing? He's like, your hair's so pretty. Okay, get the fuck away from me. I was like, what, 14?
Man, you
oh my god, dude!
You are so pretty, though. You're the best looking one of us.
That's facts.
Fucking big facts. I almost died at edema. That was a fun show. Freaking was front on the cage again in Miami, and the crowd pushed forward, and I was leaning on the cage so bad where it was like against my chest, and I couldn't breathe. Had to put my feet up against the cage and push back to get a breath of air. And then I got attacked by a giant skinhead who my buddy Jono threw a punch on, and the guy thought it was me, so he like bull charged me. And like I'm an ex-wrestler, so I jumped up, I underhooked him and slammed his head into the damn concrete and choked him out. And I got up and I was like, "That's right, bitch!" And I ran off again. Pavel's age.
Oh man, that's awesome. I'm a huge edema fan, so like I love anytime somebody brings up edema.
I almost died at their show. So.
Well, I mean, I played a show almost like I was dizzy because it was very hot. It was like 90 degrees outside, and I was under the sun for like 5 hours playing straight because it was like a festival like here, my college. I played on every like all the different bands that were there, and like this was like I think I want to say April.
Oh yeah, it was recent. I remember that.
Yeah, it was recent. Yeah, April. And like I started playing at noon and ended at 5:30 around there. Plus all the loading and everything beforehand.
Shoot.
And like I remember like towards the last set, to second to last, I was like, I do not feel good because I had not eaten anything. I had not had water, and like yeah, it was late April, and like I was just like I don't feel good. I might pass out, and then like next show is about to start. Okay, cool. Go on stage, start playing and jumping around because it was a show. And after that, I come down like, oh, I don't feel good. And then last show, cool, go play. Then came down, because it was like a last thing here at the college, and then they had like those swinging chairs. With some friends after that, I went sat on those chairs and I fell asleep. While we were spinning, I just like fully like knocked out. I think we went like twice.
Oh my god, dude. So
Yeah.
altogether, how long did you play, and like how many shows did you have to do?
It was like it was 5 different days,
Oh my god.
5 shows in a row. But we finished like we had our last rehearsal the night before and we finished like 3 a.m. and then the next day we were like loading in like 8 a.m.
Oh no.
and then we load out at like 7. So like
Well, the fact that you were able to do that it
Yeah.
proves that you have the endurance for it. I think I don't have any crazy shows because I've only actually gotten to put on one show myself, but I've been to so many. And I think the craziest, there is a venue not far from where I live called Capone's out in Johnson City, Tennessee. And I was seeing 10 years a couple years ago, and I was up toward the front, and this guy was fighting somebody else through the back. I mean, big, like 400-pound dude, and he was like pushing through the crowd, and I didn't know what was going on. I just see this guy with his hand goozled around this dude's throat. So like me and another dude start trying to break it up, and I get slung right into a concrete wall. Now, to put this in context, I don't normally say this on here, but viewers have already heard. To put this in context for the person I was with being so worried about me, I've had 6 brain surgeries.
Holy shit.
So as soon as my head hit the wall, I literally started just like seeing white. And
oh no.
I was like, oh, this is not good. So here's the kicker, though. They thought I was the one that started the fight. So they threw me out of the venue for 2 songs until they realized, like literally yanked me up and pulled me out. I was like, you motherfuckers.
I'd be throwing hands.
Oh, if I could have, I would
started
have.
another fight.
See, that's the thing with us with having a female front. Kiara's all of 5 foot nothing, and we're all very protective. But the fans are way more protective. We've had people like confront or try to inappropriately, I guess, in a way, like just nonchalantly touch her. And we all have to go, hey, buddy, just so you know, take a look around. There's 150 people here who are all about to mess you up.
Right.
Yeah, that's very
right
true.
now.
I like
For
eye
your
contact.
sake, leave.
Yeah,
Because
eye
if you
contact
don't,
through all those guys are very, very protective of me. And I really appreciate it. It means the world to me that so many of them see us as family, so much to the point where there has been so many times where there will be a guy that's a little too excited to be close to me, or we'll have a conversation, and it could be from like this direction, that direction, like we went to when we were at Hangar 1819, I was talking to the lead singer of another band that we performed with, and there was like 5 or 6 different people from Icon that came up, and they were like, hey, you good? You okay? And I'm like, yeah, just having a conversation, I'm good. And they'd walk away, and then like 2 minutes later, a different person would come up and be like, hey, are you good? Do you need anything? Are you fine? And I'm like, I'm fine. Like, usually, I mean, it means the world to me, but it's everywhere I look, there's somebody who's like willing to go to battle for me. It makes me so happy.
Icon is great too.
Mhm.
I'm pretty good friends with a couple people that are in there, including Missy Wood. Huge shout out to Missy of Creative Music Management, and also Danny Mazzeo.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys know him too well, but he's
We know
such
Maz.
a great cat.
He's one of our faves. We know Maz.
Hell yeah. I actually got to meet him for the first time like 2 years ago at the dreaded Blue Ridge that we shall not talk about.
Oh,
He,
he
he,
shall not
he
be
was at
named.
he was at one of our milestone shows and watched me yeet some freaking monster up on the stage while Living Dead Girl was playing.
Holy crap.
That
So
was a hold my beer Zach moment, and I walked into the pit and nobody wanted to punch me or fight or anything for some reason, and I was like, come on, let's go. And this one dude just caught me with this nasty backhand, and I was like, oh, okay, this is what's gonna happen. Next time he came back around, picked him up, threw him on the stage, and he landed in the guitar player Frank, or was it Frank? No, what's his name, Kiara, the guitar player for them. I can't remember now. Anyways, he looks like
that
he
face.
looks like Frank. Well, Frank, whatever. Anyways, and they're like, they got to us afterward, and they're like, "Why'd you throw that guy on stage?" I'm like, he was punching people, man.
I mean, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to protect you and everything around you.
True.
I know we're running really long tonight, so I really appreciate the people that are actually hanging on. I normally try to run it about an hour, but I've had such a blast with you guys. I really have. This has probably honestly been one of the most lighthearted and just like most fun episodes I've had in a long while. And I mean, not that everybody that comes on here is doom and gloom or anything like that, but this is also a mental health podcast, so like things can get kind of dark and tumultuous. Yeah, absolutely. So if it's okay with you all, I just want to take it for just a minute, and then we'll steep it, like we'll bring it back up. But Tim, I wanted to touch on where you said, excuse me, where you said that you had lost a friend, and I had lost my best friend when I was 15 to suicide, and it was one of the most life-changing things that I've ever experienced. And I just wanted to let you know, heart to heart, man, my heart goes out to you, brother, and it means a lot, man, that you're still here.
Yeah, it's nuts, man, and I wear my suicide awareness bracelet like every damn day. But it's I lost my cousin Bobby to it. My best friend in high school. That's what Never Gone's written about, and it sucks, and it's the people around you that suffer the most. There's never a door that's closed or a phone call that can't be taken that can stop this shit. So I lost my buddy young, man, and it sucked because that was a time when, man, if you were ridiculed for being gay, and he was gay, and people kicked his ass, people, I stuck up for him left and right. I'm gonna fucking get emotional about this shit.
I understand. You don't have to talk about it if you do not want to, brother.
It's fine. It was one of those things, man. And he was a big dude. He could take care of his own self, but I stuck up for him, and every one of my friends did too. But he took it, and he took it, and he took it. And this is, a time before help, a time before people talked about it. You just took it. It wasn't as accepted, and you were closeted, or you hated yourself for being you, or whatever the hell. And he did. So he hung himself, man, and it sucks to this day. Sucks. That was one of the most brilliant musicians I've ever known.
I apologize. It upsets me how unfortunately similar our stories are, Tim, for friends that we've lost in that same way. I had my best friend. He he hung himself as well, and he was a diehard punk rocker. He loved like Rancid, the Ramones, Sex Pistols, you name it. I mean, but he could shred like no other. He put on Iron Maiden, and then there's nothing he couldn't do. And then like he was like, I don't want to do all this technical shit. I just want to go out there and have fun. I was like, man,
I still to this day have not met somebody with that God-given talent, man. Like he literally at that age of 15, 16 years old was better than anybody I've seen today. And I can't imagine what he would be like today. He'd be playing guitar for all the greats, Eric Clapton or whoever, behind the scenes, he'd be playing it if you were. And it just sucks because, kids fucking suck, man.
They do.
There's not enough out there about, now I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer, but there's not enough out there about just talking.
No, there's not, and that's why I appreciate you all letting me take a few moments to talk about it, because I am all about mental health awareness, because I deal with suicidal ideation on a daily basis as well. I'm bipolar, manic depressive, you name it. You just throw a dart at the spectrum, and then you're just gonna find me on there, basically. But I found through the years, I've found these outlets, music being one, and I don't know if it's for everybody in the band, but I definitely feel like for you, Tim, that has been your main outlet to get everything prioritized.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lyric that stands for, I think maybe we should revisit the song and redo it, but in Never Gone it says, angrier than I've ever been, I might tattoo your name on my skin. Well, I'm obviously the tattooed one with, the meaning behind that is pissed off, man. I hate that you did what you did, but I'm never going to want to forget you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, like I said, I truly value everybody that comes on here and is willing to talk about these things so openly, because a lot of times it can be like just picking at an old sore, and that's never what I intended to come off as. So I hope it didn't sound that way at all. But to kind of pick us back up out of the mundane darkness that we tend to put ourselves in on a daily basis and say fuck it and then continue on. Kiara, I got a question for you, and I have been dying to ask this song all night because the video is something else. So I want to know about what it was like to make Your Mind.
Do you mean the music portion or the video portion?
Well, we'll get to the music. I want to know about the video, because that is such an interesting video.
So I'm not going to lie. The video, it was a very fun process for me. I wouldn't say like that much like kissing someone was fun for me, but I just love. So when I got my AFA in theater, my plan was to start doing film. That was what I wanted to do, and I think one day I would still like to pursue that. But any way I can do, I've done short films before, and so I just love the film aspect. So when we did the music video, I wanted it to have a storyline. And I had this idea in my head for a while, and we were either going to do this song or Your Mind or Sick for a music video. So I had like ideas for both, and we decided to go with Your Mind. And my friend Matt, who is in Last World Productions, who did our music video, incredible people, kind of took the ideas that I had, laid out a storyline. So we didn't have a guy in mind of who to play. And I didn't really want it to be someone that I knew really well, because I feel like it kind of just wouldn't flow. So we just found, Matt was like, I have this guy, he can play angry, he can do this and that. Here he is. And we were like, works for us. So the first night of recording the video was just the band shots. And then the second night was when I met John, who plays the boyfriend. We basically shook hands, said nice to meet you, And the very first shot that we filmed was the making out scene. So we were like, hey, nice to meet you, and kiss. So it was.
No, hang on. You got to tell the behind the scenes portion of that with Zach and I.
Oh, I didn't want them to watch. I really didn't, because I was like, I feel icky. Like, don't watch me do this. Like, don't. But they were both kind of standing in the kitchen like this.
And we told John, we said, just so you know, that's our little sister.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say that. Yep.
I wasn't there. I was on my way back to Peru.
Yeah. So, I've done stage kisses before, never that intense. So, and John was a great sport about it. We got along really well, and we had decent enough chemistry, if you will, on camera. He was a great guy, and I appreciated him for doing it. But filming, we started at like 5 p.m., I think, and we wrapped at 3 a.m. So the entire scene, like the entire music video, other than the band shots, were shot in one night. So it was very tiring, very exhausting. But I mean, I'm pretty happy with it. Of course, we have some people that, are like, this is too much, this is inappropriate, not happy with it. And, when I had my parents watch it, I was like, just, keep in mind that I'm about to make out with somebody. And, my parents are super supportive, and they were like, fuck yeah, I get it, girl. But, I thought it was a fun video. It was fun to play a crazy bitch for once.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say, like, your background in theater definitely comes through on that, because like it shows that you are enveloping the character that you're portraying, right? And I was watching the video and I was like, MGK wishes he could have done it this good. Like, I was like, I mean, at less than half the budget, I guarantee it. And I'm like, she did a better job than that damn MGK song ever could have, with the same kind of scenario, just her own take on it. And I was like, this is fucking amazing.
I don't even know what song we're talking about, but I just hate MGK.
Yeah, I actually don't know either. Is there like a video that's similar to it?
Well, not so much similar, just the concept of like, I think it's called Bloody Valentine. It's the one he did with Megan Fox. So if that,
my sister's obsessed with Machine Gun Kelly, so you should probably know.
It was okay. Like, I just but I loved your video just because the fun and just energy of it, and the absolute bullshittery that you do in it. Like at the end where the dude is just tied up and you're like laying in bed next to him. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. Like, I mean, you can tell she's just having fun.
Yeah, he had his mouth taped for a good like 30-45 minutes. So finally, like, we were done and I was like, it's a wrap. And I just like ripped it off his mouth and he was like, fuck.
Oh, no warning at all. Just
no, you gotta rip it off like a Band-Aid. He had some on his arms and wrists, and hair probably came with it. But we wrapped up at my apartment. So when it was done, I was like, awesome, get the fuck out. It's 3 a.m. I want to go to bed.
So we are winding down. I have a few more songs to ask you about before we close out the show. But again, I just want to say thank you so much. You all have been more than generous with your time, and I hope I have not been too long-winded.
No, this has been a fun interview.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Probably our best one.
Yeah, honestly.
Are you guys taking questions? Yes. I absolutely love crowd participation. That's actually like one of my favorite things on here. It's less for me to do as a host.
Yeah, appropriate ones. I will answer the inappropriate ones.
Especially about socks. It's all inverted. Just wherever you are, well.
It's just so funny. No, like everyone acts weird, and then they get in front of me, and then they're like, "Oh, he's like the adult." Like the other ones are the fun. They do their thing, and I'm the most serious. I'm like, what'd you just say? Oh, that's good. No. So questions come my way. I'm usually the most inappropriate one out of all of them, but I'll handle it the most appropriate way.
Hell
Except
yeah.
when we're in practice, and then you're like,
Yeah.
he has like a what is it, HR thing on the wall, and
We
if
won't
we
talk about
sometimes
that.
like if we say inappropriate, he's like, okay, so
he's
this
just-
is complicated, he says.
Oh God.
We'll take the complicated, Derek. Bring it.
Alrighty. Also, huge shout out to person following me on Twitch. I've been trying to get this thing off of the ground for a while, so this is really cool. Thank you so much. I appreciate you dropping in. So while he is thinking up that question, I got a fun question for you all. All right.
Hell yeah.
So if you had to describe Dovecage as a type of food or drink, what would it be and why?
Surge Cola.
Oh shit! Right out the gate.
What did you say?
Surge Cola.
What the hell
100%.
is that?
Cola?
What is
Mhm.
that?
Don't
Yeah,
worry
what
about
is
it.
that?
Don't worry.
Now that you've said it, now I'm worried.
You have Google. Look it up. Surge
I-
Cola.
I would say we are one
He's
of my
looking it
favorite
up.
drinks in the whole world. We are boba.
What the fuck is this?
Boba?
Bro, Surge was like the most energetic caffeinated drink back in the 90s. Like you could get. It was made like illegal, taken off the market, and then Monsters.
It was made with like freaking battery acid, basically,
That's
back
right.
in the day.
It was
I
discontinued
do know
the
what
year
you're
I was
talking about.
born.
Yep.
That and Jolt Cola.
Surge and Jolt.
Yep.
You could do the combination at 7-Eleven. You could do the Kamikaze Surge Jolt combo.
If you really want to die.
Or stay awake with some Mad Dog 2020.
Well, I mean, so we've had Surge Cola, and then I heard Kiara say boba.
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 Yeah.
What kind?
See, that's the thing. Because
Mm.
boba, you can make it in so many different ways. Like you can have so many different flavors and it still tastes good. And I feel like that's kind of like what our music is. Because I feel like every song is very different, but they still are pretty good. You know?
I hate boba.
And we've got like bursts of flavor.
You got bursts of the tapioca pearls.
Yeah. Ew. Not the tapioca pearls. The fruit pearls.
Oh,
Specific.
okay.
The Kiwi ones were pretty good.
They were good. I got
I
boba like
hate
2 days
boba.
ago.
Pavel's over here like, just shut the fuck up already. I am done with this. I am leaving.
What do you have, Pavel? What's yours?
I don't know. I'm also. I don't know. I don't drink. I don't.
I feel like he would say like a coffee, like a cappuccino.
Honestly, no. I think could be like one of the most basic bitch coffees that you could get at Starbucks. Like like that like
Are you saying we're pumpkin spice, you mother effer?
With extra whip and soy milk and
like,
just
no, that like
everything.
pink
The
drink.
pink drink.
Yeah.
I love the pink drink. I'm not even gonna lie.
Let's say we're
gotta pump
easily
it back.
digestible, but
That
high
or one cup
energetic.
cappuccino. Yes.
Easily digestible, high energetic. There we go. We're like a steak and potatoes with caffeinated drinks.
Oh, that sounds so good right now.
I think that.
All right, so Derek had his question, by the way.
I don't think
Yeah.
that's like an actual.
Yeah,
that's a
I'm
troll.
worried if it's not actual.
That's why I was actually going to address that. So, massive Derek, I appreciate the question so much. Unfortunately, it's not a topic that we talk about on this podcast, but I do wish you all the best in it, and I really do appreciate you coming to stop by. And please don't think of it being as dismissed. I just don't want to put in the wrong bit of information that could be misconstrued.
How about this?
Agreed.
Come as you are.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yes.
are accepted.
There you go. There you
And
go.
Missy said, "Hi."
Yes, Missy. Oh my God. So I have to give a huge thank you to Missy. she has provided me so many amazing bands to get the chance to interview, and you all are one of them. And I cannot say enough good things about Missy.
We love her.
Derek, you're welcome. I do appreciate you stopping in, and I hope you check it out again. And I hope we were able to get you out a little bit of your mind and maybe have some fun for tonight. But I also want to ask you guys. So we've got the drink, and we've got what kind of food?
Ooh.
Meat and potatoes, man. Like I said.
Oh, you said meat. Okay, you said meat and potatoes.
You were going to ask us about a song, though.
I was going to. I got one that I want to ask you about.
I can't even think of a food. I feel like maybe
Well,
Lifesaver gummies.
She can't. She has to eat something gluten free.
Yeah, Lifesaver gummies. I have celiac, so no gluten for me. But we eat Lifesaver gummies almost every single practice, like since we started. So
that guy.
Except for me.
You eat it too on occasion.
I don't.
Here and there.
I'm in there while you guys eat it, if that counts.
Yeah. All right. Well, me and Zach.
Yeah.
We pound them down. So I would say Lifesaver gummies.
Okay. How about you, Pavel?
I mean, I always end up taking to practice like Cheez-Its all the time.
Oh yeah. We're cheesy and we are crisp.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Can't eat that shit, man.
So good though.
You only live once.
No, you get to 40 and you go, oh, the whole snack food aisle wants to kill me.
You only live once.
Yeah, no, it's like
you gotta enjoy it.
Edamame and water. So how about that song?
Yeah, how about that song, Tim? So the next track I want to ask you about is Lullaby. I feel like this was a really, to me, like a standout one from the rest of the singles that you've released. And I think the reason it resonated so much with me is there is that effect on the chorus that I love so much, and it reminded me of Resentment by A Day to Remember, where the vocal is just kind of being echoed in that sense. And I was like, it gave me this sense of familiarity and nostalgia upon the first time I listened to it. And I have had that thing on repeat.
You have a very good ear because that's in there.
There
are so many influences on that song, and A Day to Remember is one of them. We pulled tons. We pulled AJR, we pulled movies, we pulled several references to get that together. It was like a marriage. It was kind of a pain in the ass to get everything production wise. I know Sam and Jordan from Pangea, they told us, they were like, damn, it's really hard to push this all together to make it sound cohesive because it's all a lot. And I mean, you have sound. If you listen, that's our favorite song. If you listen to the background in there, there are so many hidden sounds and little things that we threw in, nuances here and there, throwbacks, you name it, to push that song forward and make it full. That like you could hear it 8 times and pick out something new every time, which is what we wanted. And it like, I love that song. The bass in it is amazing. The drums are phenomenal. Like they give me chills to this day. Kiara's vocals on it, it's just big and full, awesome song.
It really is. Like, I was listening to it and I was thinking to myself, this needs to be on the radio. Like it has that quality to it where it's just mainstream enough for it to really like sink into somebody's brain and be like an earworm, you know? And that's what I think the radio needs more of, is like an actual good earworm.
That was a fun song.
I am so excited to play that song live because we haven't done that yet.
Yeah, we haven't played live yet.
That one, we haven't played that one or Sick yet.
Yeah.
Those two, like Lullaby, whoever perform it, I feel like it's gonna be like one of the songs.
I'm gonna mess it up. It's gonna get messed up.
By you.
First time, probably
Yep.
for all of us, really.
But I'm so
that
excited
song is like, I consider that song my baby.
There are so many good bands in the area, so many good bands in the United States too that just don't get the play or what they should with the quality of songs that they have out. And it's so funny how like money buys the radio and money pushes things forward. Because I hear every day underground stuff all the time. I'm like, holy crap, these people are good. And I look them up. I'm like, you got like 300 followers. I'm like, what the shit, man? Your songs are way better than ours, and you should definitely be bigger than everybody. Lullaby is one of the songs I think should be bigger, but it's money talks. Our next song coming out, which to be named, I guess. Are we gonna go with Quit, or are we gonna stay with that name, or are we gonna change it? No, it's so far in production. It's called Quit.
Okay.
It is 100% radio ready. We love that song. The gang vocals on it give me chills every time I hear it, and it's still not even like finished, and it's just demo phase, and it sounds amazing.
Oh man,
I love that song. That's going to be my number one. But it won't necessarily be audience number one. It's going to be one of my favorites. But
I like Lullaby's my favorite because that was like
Lullaby.
my idea for a song was like the one song that I ever had an idea for was that one.
I do like that song to where like there's callbacks to like the Matrix. There's you've got little music boxes in it. You've got like a feeling of awake and asleep. Like it really engages the listener. But I don't know if they hear it or not. But that's how our take was.
It's one of those tracks, like you said, it's going to take multiple takes for somebody to fully grasp everything that's going on in it and the nuances. I think that one, I really hope, is the hidden gem of Dovecage's, current releases. Because to me, that song is such I've used the word a couple times, but powerhouse. It's like it's there, it's fun, but it's also like wistful, and just like it gets you in your head thinking about some of the deeper thoughts versus some of the more fun tracks that you all have released, like XXX and Your Mind. And I think it's a really great balance for what you guys have going on. And then that leads into Sick, which I think is also a very different departure from the stuff that you've done. And I appreciate that. I'm the kind of person, I'll do 5 or 6 songs on an album, and each one's going to sound completely different. So what was it like to go from kind of the more upbeat to doing those kind of not necessarily somber, but kind of a bit more deep and meaningful ones? Not that, I apologize, Kiara. I hope that didn't sound that way at all. You know what I meant.
I was trying to figure out who was going to talk about it.
You.
Okay. So I personally enjoy it just because when I'm singing, usually I like that kind of slower, and I can drag out my words a little more. I can get kind of I enjoyed recording it. And really the backstory behind it was Jordan in the studio was like, have you ever talked about like your health problems or anything? And I was like, no, like not really, other than to you guys. And he was like, why don't you put it in a song? And so I kind of just sat there and listed everything that's wrong with me, which is a lot. And we pretty much just turned it into a song. And it's, this is the first slow and emotional song that we've had that is a little more serious than the ones that we normally write. So it's been really cool to see that so many people resonate with it. And I think that we wrote it in a way that, yes, it does talk about my personal journey, but it is so easy to turn it into mental health, physical health, emotional health, and it's so easy for anybody to relate to. So I think that really was our goal, and we released it in July, which is Disability Pride Month. And so we thought, that a lot of people could connect to it, and it's been really great to see the response from it.
Yeah. It was the last track that I listened to of you all before doing the podcast. I've listened to it several times before, but that's one that it kind of makes me emotional. A lot of the people that already know the podcast know what I'm going to say, but I was born with epilepsy. So it's like something that I constantly kind of struggle with. And it's like this constant feeling of lethargic energy. And it's just like, along with everything else. And it's just like, I'm so sick of feeling this way. And it's like, some days you don't have the energy to get up and do these things. And you're like, fuck, I'm so over feeling this way. And it's funny that you brought up July being Disability Pride Month. July 26, 1990 is when the Americans with Disability Act was initially put into place. I was born the same day.
No way.
And here I am with epilepsy and everything else. I'm like, so this is kind of a cruel joke of some kind. But no. In all seriousness, the song really hit with me. And personally, I want to say thank you for sharing your story and making it transferable. Like you said, other people can make what they want out of it. And it's one of those songs I think when people listen to it, they'll instantly gravitate to it because they can all relate to it. It doesn't have to be physical. It doesn't have to be any certain kind of pain that you're just sick of going through, because life can just beat us down beyond all recognition. And at times we're just, sick of being sick and tired. And I think that song summed everything up that I've been feeling for the last week. And that was the one I was almost as excited about talking to you as You're Mine, but for different reasons.
Yeah.
Your mind is blowing up right now.
It is,
dude,
yeah.
I know. I saw the stream count on there. I was like, holy shit.
We just gained like
most boring song to play.
It is, but it's catchy.
It is. It works, and in the end, like, it's a really good song. But it's like, from all the songs that we have done, I feel like that's the most boring one for me, at least.
See, it is for me too. However, being that rhythmically has to be on at all times, same with Zach. Like if we mess up, we're screwed.
Yeah.
So, I just have a few more questions, and then I promise I will let you all go. I can't tell you all how wonderful this has been. I say at the end of every podcast, I never know how the guests are going to be. And a lot of the times the guest dictates the speed, like if they can do a methodical answer where they're dragging it out, or they can do rapid fire. And it's like, well, you got a 10-minute podcast from 20 questions. You just never know. I love these kind because I love getting to know people. I love getting to hear your stories and share with you all what you have gone through and what you're going through, also in good ways, and I always try to find nuggets that I can apply to my everyday life. And I hope the people that actually listen to this can do the same. So I know there has been some news within the Dovecage camp lately, and that is, is it okay to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, our wonderful, incredible, perfectionist drummer Zach is leaving the band. It hurts our hearts very much. One thing about Dovecage is when somebody leaves the band that we've had, it has never been in bad faith, and it has never been for any reason other than they simply can't make it work anymore. So, when Nick left, we were devastated. We're all still great friends. He still fills in for us. When Pavel was in Peru, he filled in for a show. And Zach is engaged, which we are so excited about. His fiance is amazing. We love Megan. And he also has some new work opportunities that he would like to take advantage of. And, we're fully in support of that. It definitely sucks because I feel like Zach is definitely like the glue that holds us all together. He is someone who is he's just incredible. He's an incredible human being inside and out, and he's a beast on the drums. I've never met a better drummer in my life, and I don't think I ever will.
Played with a ton. He's the best.
Yeah, it's just a testament, even listening to our songs, and Lullaby was tracked live, and all of these songs were tracked by him, and he's just that incredible.
Yeah, we're running into that problem with people auditioning, and they're like, shit.
Finding a new drummer will not be easy. Will not be easy. We are open to it. If anybody wants to audition, let us know, because we gotta find a new drummer. But yeah, we're very thankful for the years that he gave us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, with how much you all have name dropped him tonight without him even being here, it tells me what he means to you all as a whole.
Oh,
yeah, he's our brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I hated when I saw that, but I also understand, everybody has different chapters of their life, and sometimes things just don't pan out the way you see it a few years prior. And I'm so glad that like you said, there's no animosity, there's nothing like that can be misconstrued. And that's the beautiful thing right there to me. Like, you still have that camaraderie and that love for each other. To me, that's something that a lot of bands need more of.
Absolutely. Trust and believe. I think all three of us will be an emotional wreck during his last show. I don't even know if I'll be able to, during Nick's, I shed a couple tears, and I was definitely devastated, but Zach and I have a very special connection. He has for those who don't know, one time in the group chat, Zach has an Android. Stupid phone. He has an Android. So
hey,
our phones don't autocorrect. Oh, how dare you! So our phones don't autocorrect in our group chat. And one time, Tim mentioned my name, but it didn't autocorrect, and it said the word goats, like GOATS, goats, for my name. And that was the second week that I joined the band. And since then, Zach calls me goats. They do too, but that is the only name that he uses for me. And I call him Shep, as in for shepherd, because they watch out for, I know they watch out for sheep, same thing. So
yeah.
I'm gonna be an emotional wreck. Long story short. Exactly.
Well, when is the last show?
Good question.
He's giving us till the end of the year, pretty much, but I don't think he'll leave us hanging if we had, something. But yeah, I mean, shit, Zach and I have been together forever, and it's, like I said, going on 5 years now, and multiple member changes, things like that. Him and I are part of the OG. I'll be the last one once he's gone, and it's gonna suck. Yeah. I love my people now, but damn, I'm gonna miss that boy.
Yeah, we all are.
No, I mean, I'm so grateful just from what I've heard already of what he was able to give to Dovecage, and I fret to say replacement, because I don't feel like there's going to be such a thing as a replacement, but definitely somebody that is wanting to step into that spot has big shoes to fill, not just professionally, but as a bandmate as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
We don't want it to be intimidating. Like, even Zach will say, "Oh no, I'm not that good." We know he's that good. We know he is. But
we just want a family member, another family member.
Just click with us and do 80% Zach, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Be 20% you, 80% this guy you may not know.
I mean, to his credit, he is the most humble person I've ever met in my life, and he is like, I am not that good at drums, and every drummer in the area is like, "Are you fucking nuts?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because he literally.
Mindy, oh my goodness, former podcast interviewee Mindy of Dying Oath. I love that girl so much.
Didn't Mindy just get engaged?
She did.
Congratulations!
Yeah.
Huge shout out,
I saw the
my
Facebook
friend.
post.
I need to get you back on the podcast soon. Holy crap. It's been almost 20 episodes since she's been on. Like, what the hell?
We're going to make 2 episodes of this one.
Oh, hell, I know. Like, this goes directly from here to YouTube and to Spotify. So this is going to be just so much fun for anybody who's listening. Like, Jesus Christ, I can do a work day with this podcast.
Those are the best ones, though. That flow and time goes by, and they all just, they're just good. I remember listening to Neil deGrasse Tyson on Joe Rogan, and I was like, wow, I just listened to 3 hours and 50 minutes of space crap, and I was like, I was enthralled. 3 hours, 50 minutes went by like nothing.
I'm a diehard wrestling fan, so I have like 5 or 6 podcasts that I listen to that are long form, and I'm like, oh, I just went through like 3 hours and nothing. So hopefully, when they're listening to this, they're like, God, JT does not shut up, but it keeps
Fun
the pace
story.
going.
If you're a diehard like WWE or anything like that, Vince McMahon, I've been inside his condo in Boca and knew Stephanie McMahon when Triple H and her were in Boca.
So I'm gonna need you to just message me after this, and then we'll just have another podcast of our own, but not for YouTube or anything. Just us.
I will say, Vince McMahon had leather floors in his condo.
Oh, so many things I could say with the things that. Never mind. Anyway, going away from that topic, if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's just say there's a reason he's not with WWE right now, and you can look that up. So, just easier to clean, I suppose, right, Tim?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wasn't doing it, but
I would hope not. Anyway, so here it is, the last 2 questions. The first one being, what is next for Dovecage? Is it gonna be a new EP? Is it a new CD release? What's going on?
So we originally, at the beginning of the year, we had the plan to release a single every 6 weeks until an album was complete. So we have kind of been thinking about steering away from that just a little bit. We've been enjoying the singles. However, usually once it gets into the holidays, it's a little harder to stay on top of that type of schedule. I will say that we are working on some things that are new but old at the same time, and that will be like the cryptic message that I will give.
Ooh.
So we've got some pretty cool things coming along, and I think if I can talk these guys into a fun little like Christmas cover, that would be really cool. But I gotta talk them into it first.
Okay.
That would be really fun.
Tim's
You guys have
mind is
anything to
already
add?
going.
Are we working on anything else that I'm forgetting?
no, just acoustic stuff, and then writing more. Which is funny because the acoustic stuff, everyone's saying, "Oh, that
you just leaked it."
He's
just gave like a cryptic message, and you go, "Oh, we're doing acoustics."
It's acoustic stuff. I don't care. Who cares?
You suck.
Of course. Oh my God.
Thank you, Mindy.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Mindy coming in saying she loves you guys, and she's so sweet. I swear, I want to meet her soon one day. I really do. Everybody I've encountered from the North Carolina scene has been just absolutely phenomenal. Honestly, I think that it's been nothing against my other guests, but like the North Carolina scene, I feel has been like the most tight-knit community and just friendly driven episodes that I've had. And I can't say enough good things about you all, honestly.
Look, we're friendly, but we are competitive. We all want to be the best, but that drives everybody. So
I was gonna say, like, all ships rise with the tide, right? I mean, if you're the same as you were a year ago, like you're doing something wrong.
Yep, that's true.
Said that 100 times. Do better.
Yeah, well, yeah. The Pigeon Prison plushie, of course. So that has made a full circle return from the beginning of this 24-hour podcast.
I think
we'll do 25 of them.
What was that, Pavel?
We would make money with that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's facts.
Here's what you do. You get a Cricut and you just put the logo on it and then, sell them and then just give me half because I came up with the idea for the Cricut.
Yeah. We own 51% of this company.
Crap Monkeys Incorporated. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so last question of the night, and I ask everybody this. You went beyond the breakdown with 6 scars tonight. How the hell are you all feeling?
I feel fantastic.
Pretty good.
I feel hungry, inspired. I feel motivated
Hell yeah.
and
I
warm.
feel like a time traveler because 2 hours and 16 minutes flew by.
Yeah, it did
Yeah,
not
it
feel
really
like
does
2
not feel
hours.
like that
I
long
do
at
have to say
all.
that. Like you only feel that if you're having fun with people that you enjoy being around with, and you've definitely done that.
Oh
This is
man.
our practices. If only we could get anything done. It's like 2 hours and nothing's got done.
Yeah, we're like, so we have a song? No.
No, I would rehearse the song completely. No, and it's mainly because we can never hear Tim or his bass rig stops working or something.
This has been such a fun interview.
You see my name, right? I already called myself out, Pavel.
And he also commented himself on the private chat. Let's not.
Oh yeah, he did.
No, that was somebody. That was Zach. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah.
In the private
But
chat.
Zach is awake right now for sure.
In the well, I mean, he can't do it on this one because he's not in the stream. So I got you on the YouTube one, but you know.
Sure.
But no, in closing, I just want to say thank you again. And you gave me the best compliment you could have, where you said 2 hours just flew by. I always want the guests to have fun. I want them to feel appreciated, and I want them to know that this is just a place to have a great time. And to know that I provided that to you makes me smile. So thank you. Thank you so much. And I already said it, but I want to have you all back. So whenever you want to come back, when you're dropping a new single, whatever you're doing, hit me up and I will make room for you. I will shout you out on my page, whatever you need. I had such a blast with you all tonight, and I can't thank you enough.
Thank you for having us. Maybe
so
we
much
get
for
a new
having
drummer. We'll have to introduce him to the world.
Yes.
Or her.
Yes. Well, hey, you never know. You never know.
We have a couple of girls auditioning, so
We have.
Well, whatever is next for you all, I wish you nothing but the best. You all seem so genuine and so caring about one another, and it comes off of the screen, like it really does. You can tell the camaraderie in the band, even though you're in different locations, right? Like that's something you can't always say about all the bands, where it's like, oh, they definitely have that about them, but it just radiates with you all. And I really want to catch you guys soon. So I'm really hoping I can catch you all. And if I do, I am definitely going to try and do a photo op with all of you.
Hell yeah.
But my friends, I have kept you long enough, and everybody on here is like, oh God, I'm tired. So in closing, I wish you all the best, and I will catch you all on the next one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You all have a wonderful night.
Thanks for having us.
You too.
See you.
Bye.
Everybody, that was the amazing Dovecage. What more can be said? You know, I really don't want to drag this out. It's already been almost 2.5 hours. It flew by. It absolutely flew by. There's just a few little pieces of housekeeping that I do got to get to. And that is follow the Beyond the Breakdown podcast. You can do that by going to Linktree, linktr.ee/BTB Pod 6 scars. That's BTB Pod 6 scars. That will take you to all the socials that you need. That'll take you to Instagram, Twitter, or not Twitter, but Twitch and YouTube and Facebook, you name it. You want to buy me a coffee because I am drinking Monster left and right, and I probably don't have much in my body to deal with Monster anymore. Cash at me. It is the money sign JT Christine. That is like Chris, CHRIS, and Einstein, TEIN. I can't thank you all enough for being here. You could have chosen to be anywhere else, but you wanted to be here. If you did enjoy this one tonight, you can also donate to me on Streamlabs, which is stream, STREAMLABS.com/6 scars, SIX scars/tip. These will also be in the comment section. But if you want to give me something because you're like, hey, he did an all right job, I appreciate you. With that being said, there is no band playing tonight. There's nothing that I need to actually play. So here's the outro, and I will see you all on the next one.